It's flying in the classroom, robbers being chased on school grounds. That was the reality for pupils and staff last week at Edenvale High School. What does it say about security at our schools, and whose responsibility is it? I'm now joined by Riaan van der Berg from the Federation of School Governing Bodies of South African Schools, and Vish Naidoo from the South African Police Service is on the line. Thank you both for joining us. Riaan, you were just telling me a little earlier that that was the first time you saw that footage of the shootout. How did it make you feel?
It's ridiculous. I think it says a lot about our society, not just security in schools, but that is a scary, scary scene, and the fact that we have it on video already says that the school took some precautions to have surveillance cameras, some access control, and yet still something like that happened.
So knowing that this is a societal problem and this is something that we have to absorb and deal with, what are schools doing to get ahead of security issues?
I think school governing bodies are taking due care and spending a lot of effort on safety at schools. The resourced schools spend a lot of money, additional money raised from parents to have security, access control, surveillance cameras on campus and looking outside the campus. And then there's also a big drive to get our schools cashless. If there is nothing to take, then hopefully they will not be seen as a soft target. So we're punting the cashless environment arena using technology that is available in all spheres of life to ensure that school kids don't walk around with cash. But there's still other assets, and schools are seen as a soft target.
Vish Naidoo, what do you think is happening at the moment? Is it because schools are seen as soft targets that this is becoming something that's possibly more attractive for those who want to steal or commit violence?
Yeah, I want to agree with Mr. van der Berg there. The schools are taking, precautionary measures to guard against these kind of incidents. But I must say, Jane, this was a rather unfortunate incident, and I think it generated a lot of coverage and mileage in the media space, due to social media and the fact that, the school was able to have, recorded the entire incident and so forth. That's what generated a lot of mileage. But these type of incidents are few and far between at schools, but I'm not saying that is good enough. I mean, one incident is one too many. We cannot tolerate such incidents, and indeed it is a societal problem. Where we're really having issues when it comes to school safety, it's issues like bullying, things that are prominent, issues such as bullying, abuse of substance abuse, drug abuse, teenage pregnancy. These are some of the things that we find are more rife. These acts of violent crimes are few and far between. But the fact
but sorry, can I just jump in here? I mean, the fact, I think, obviously this is horrific that it's happening now, but they can see how easy it is. I mean, this was done, and there was a police station right next to the school. So they know they can go in, get what they want, leave. It's going to make it more attractive for others.
Yeah, but it wasn't that easy for them. As you would know, the response time was immediate. We were able to arrest some suspects, were even killed in the process. We did follow-up operations. We arrested 2 others. There are more suspects outstanding. But be that as it may, we're working very closely with the school governing bodies, Department of Education. We have school safety committees where a representative from a police station sits on those committees to ensure that these complexities that I've highlighted, including these aggravated incidents, can be averted at all costs.
Again, Riaan van der Berg, I mean, is this enough? What more would you like to see the police service do? I mean, is it time to bring in personal, private security firms, or I guess that adds another level of
Yeah, I hope not, but a lot of schools have private security firms policing their entrance. But I just want to maybe add that although this is maybe an isolated incident, in a very short space this year we've had the robbery at the new school that the MEC opened. We had
the tablets taken.
Yes, the tablets taken. The Dowra Glen situation where a stray bullet caught a learner, and 2 incidents on one day. So I'm hoping that it's very isolated, but it feels like in 6 weeks of school that there's been
a turn.
It's been a turn. So yeah, I think we can do a lot more. Schools are taking care. I'm concerned about the schools that are under-resourced. The Department of Education is not under any obligation to provision for posts or non-educators at a school for security. The school governing body is tasked with the responsibility of managing and administrating control over the assets of a school, and hence the local community, the public. We have public schools in this country, so the public must also step up and take responsibility for what goes on in and around their society and their community. But we are concerned. We sent out a newsletter today to notify our members, just take due care and do what you can. Insurance is for when something has happened, but you don't want to get the video footage that was shown with assault rifles running around your school. That must be...
And Vishnadi, I mean, okay, how can we protect our children? What is the message out there? Do people know enough about what to do in this sort of circumstance? I mean, are our children taught how to deal with bullies who might walk into school with knives?
Yeah, as I indicated earlier, Jane, we have school safety officer dedicated to the schools in a particular policing precinct area. There's education and awareness drives on a continuous basis that's being conducted there to address all issues of social ill, serious and violent crimes. So we are educating through the school governing bodies, through the school safety committees, through the Department of Education. We're also working closely with Department of Health, Department of Social Development to create awareness, raise awareness, educate students. But yes, we have to get more involvement by communities, particularly local communities, like Mr. Van der Berg has alluded to, so that, we can prevent these kind of incidents from taking place, in its totality.
Okay, and Riaan Van der Berg, what about only allowing teachers and students into schools? I mean, is that a plausible step? How difficult will that be to enforce?
I think it's difficult to enforce, but we might need to get to a place where it's not difficult to use technology that is available to ensure access control to a school. Plausible in context, maybe, where there is a certain context. Yes, have access control. Parents have to report to security controlled receptions like we do in most businesses, most companies. You get received at reception. You cannot enter the rest of the premises without someone verifying your meeting and that kind of thing. But it stays difficult because it's a community school. The community is very involved in the school, and that's one of the beauties of our Schools Act and how it's done. But yeah, we cannot continue on this train without taking notice that we've got to be more vigilant.
And Mr. Knight, I mean, people who come into school, the bullies with the knives, how should that be tackled?
Well, we do conduct regular searches and operations, of course, through school governing bodies. We have to get consent from them. We don't want a situation in a school where we have high police presence because it's going to affect the learning processes of our learners. So we do it strategically. We do it making sure that we make students or learners understand that it's in their best interest, and we do that on a regular basis. We have identified schools, certain schools as hotspot areas where we conduct patrols while they're on their way to school, during their lunch breaks, and even after school to ensure that, there's no criminality affecting our learners by the end of the day. So, yeah, these processes are in place, and we're making sure that they are delivered effectively and efficiently.
Okay, good to hear that, Vishnadi. Riaan Van der Berg, thank you. Pope Francis ends a sex summit by blaming Satan for sex abuse crimes. We speak to a victim of sexual abuse at the hands of a Catholic priest after this.